How is it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Arsenal transfer news and all that good stuff. Quite the interesting transfer market for Arsenal, I'm not gonna lie, especially today where some deals are going through, where some deals are happening. So definitely there is some stuff to talk about. Players going out, players coming in, but still, one of the biggest questions remain. Where is the bloody striker? Because I'm still a strong believer that without a striker, we are not getting anywhere. Obviously, we've been linked with certain players. They are coming in and they're going out. Potentially, there are some other things we need to discuss, other things we need to talk about. There's quite a bit of stuff to talk about, to be honest. So definitely there is everything to go for in today's stream. And of course, if you're new around here, don't forget to smash a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell and all that stuff. Don't forget to share, interact in the chat. Everything helps a lot. It's massive fun for me, definitely chatting you with all. And definitely that is amazing. Also, it's Friday, so happy Friday. Hope everyone's ready for a nice weekend and everything. It's very interesting how things are moving this transfer market, especially for Arsenal in this regard. So I'm very sorry. Need to do this. How things are going for Arsenal in this transfer market, because we are moving slow, but we are also, in the meantime, while we are signing things, we are selling players, which is not very Arsenal-like, if that makes sense. Usually we sign players and then beg, try, and hope we can sell other players out. But in this window, we are actually selling players and we are signing players at the same time, and this is kind of slowed things down, I think, definitely, and everything, but it's going. It's actually moving. Yes, it's moving at snail's pace. The Premier League kicks off in 15 days. In 15 days, Premier League kicks off. So basically in 2 weeks, Premier League kicks off. Oh, 14 days, sorry. In 15 days, Arsenal play against Wolves. So still, despite the fact that we have sold some players, we have signed some players, there is still time to get the proper signings done, and we're gonna talk all about that in today's stream. And as I said, if you're new around here, smash thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, do that all thing. And to be honest, let's not drag this too long, let's dig straight into it. And we are kicking things off with news from Sammy Mogbel last night, the fact that Arsenal value Adrien Nketiah at £30 million. Marseille current offer for the player is deemed too low. Obviously, there were reports that they offered around 25, and there are talks ongoing. Who knows what's going there? Also, there was an article today on Now Arsenal that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang urges Arsenal star to leave the club this summer, and that player actually is Adrien Nketiah in that article, which is very interesting. Ex-Arsenal player. He also tweeted out the FA Cup win and everything, together with Lacazette and everything, about the memories. And of course, he's still an Arsenal fan no matter what. I think maybe he doesn't like Arteta, but he's still an Arsenal fan inside of his heart, I think. Yes, he has the tattoo and everything, and he got mocked for it when he joined Chelsea, but it is what it is. But he definitely has urged Nketiah to leave. And here is the deal on Adrien Nketiah and how is it going. According to Sky Sports, who is that? Seth, basically, or Sky Sports on Give Me Sport, he talked about this. Their initial offer a few weeks ago was effectively laughed at by Arsenal. Basically, they offered something weird like 15 million, and Arsenal just laughed them out of the park. That's usually what other teams do to Arsenal, so kind of interesting. That offer had a massive gap from Arsenal's valuation. The information that was given was that they were expecting Marseille to go back, and they have done that. We think the offer that has gone in now is around 17 million, and we just read that Arsenal value him at around 30 million, which is actually insane. Yes, I think 30 million in a way is a fair price for Adrien Nketiah. 25 plus 5 million on add-ons definitely, in my opinion, spells a good business in selling Adrien Nketiah. But overall, it doesn't look like it's gonna happen because it's very slow, it's very lethargic. It's basically what Arsenal tend to do. This time just Marseille are dragging this out, but Arsenal actually have set a price and they are not that willing to move under it, and it's something very uncharacteristic for Arsenal, and I love to see that. At the same time, he's a player we should be trying to get out. Obviously, I'm not saying get him out at a cut price for about 10 million, but definitely if you get an offer from about 22, 23 million plus some add-ons, definitely get the deal done, because if we can sell it in Nketiah, there is still a possibility of us actually signing a proper number 9. And that is something I really wish to happen. Now that there still not be as much as what Arsenal would want, but it is enough for them to at least continue the conversation. So the fact that the two clubs are still talking would imply that there is possibility that a deal can be done there, and that is very, very encouraging in the instance that our Edin Nketiah actually might get out of the club. Although 17 million offer, not sure how that works. As you can see, I'm trying to find other Edin Nketiah related subjects. There isn't that much. I think I tweeted out to Troops as well. Yeah, here it is. Arsenal value Edin Nketiah for 30 million. Arsenal value Edin Nketiah at 30 million. And Arsenal apparently have turned down a very good offer from Marseille, according to reports. That was about 20 million, and that is the big thing. I'm not sure Arsenal are willing to go below their asking price. A lot. Let's just say a lot. I would say Arsenal maybe would be willing to offer 25 million. They would accept that. Maybe 25 million plus some add-ons, they would be willing to accept that. But Marseille have offered about 20 million overall, apparently, and that is something Arsenal think is a laughable amount. And in a way, I get it. At the same time, you need to negotiate a good deal, because I cannot live for another season with Edin Nketiah being at striker for Arsenal, as a backup striker nonetheless. Because in the preseason as well, Edin Nketiah has looked not like a player who would try to fight for his place. He was tripping over his own feet, he was tripping over the ball. The chances he had, he was missing like no tomorrow. To be honest, Jesus did the same thing, and he's pretty much a starter at Arsenal. He was missing sitters against Liverpool as well. So it's very interesting how this is developing, but we will have to keep and wait, because if the fact is that they are still talking about this and Arsenal and Marseille are in discussions, there is a possibility still that a deal might happen. The question is on how big of an amount. Because I don't want to see a loan with obligation to buy or anything like that. I just want him to get sold for proper money, cash up front, and maybe some add-ons if they are cool with that. Slowly moving things on to Adrien Rabiot. This is coming from Italy, Gazzetta dello Sport, and that is obviously, as we all know, not the most reliable source, but at the same time, sometimes they get the things right. But apparently Real Madrid, Arsenal and Atletico Madrid are all interested in Adrien Rabiot, who is a free agent after leaving Juventus. And the thing is, if you are a free agent, you can ask quite big money to get paid weekly, because you are coming as a free agent. You have that negotiation room, because the club that is getting you doesn't have to pay the price for the other club for getting him. So there might be increased agent fees, increased salary. His agent is his mother, isn't it? As well, so definitely that is going into the family. But yeah, the thing is, apparently according to reports, Real Madrid, Arsenal and Atletico Madrid are interested. The thing is, I don't see him playing at Real Madrid. That is the big thing. Real Madrid is a club that wouldn't, I don't want to say stoop so low to sign Adrien Rabiot, but I definitely believe from Real Madrid fans there would be some very, very massive words coming out, and some maybe even riots on a certain level, if they signed Adrien Rabiot. That is the big thing here. I generally believe that could be the case, and I generally believe the fact that Adrien Rabiot would sign for them would actually be hella annoying and pissing them off. Now, they never cut the umbilical cord. You mean in Edin Nketiah? Do you think they have that attachment that he's their born baby, like Emile Smith Rowe and Saka and Nelson, and they just basically don't know how to say goodbye? They want to keep them as long as possible? I generally can see that. I can see that. Not to mention Edin Nketiah. Oh yeah, the rabbit and his mother. Yeah, that also is the case. But to be honest, this could be applied to Arsenal as well. We've put Nelson, we've put Edin Nketiah on insane wages, 100 grand a week, and now everyone's confused why Arsenal don't want to sell him for about 20 million. It's because Arsenal want to cover their asses on wages as well. Imagine he has 3-year contract, Edin Nketiah, he gets 100 grand a week. Genuinely, that's 50. He gets 100 grand, that's 5 million a year, 5.2, that's 15 million in 3 years. Genuinely. That is the big one. So definitely that is the case why he maybe is not moving. But the biblical umbilical cord for Rabiot as well. It's similar like Mbappe. I think isn't his mother also his agent in that regard? There's something going on there with the French dudes. It's hella weird. But Atletico Madrid, for him, also I can see as a viable option because Atletico Madrid are in for a midfielder. The thing about this is, though, they are apparently about to sign, what's his face? Conor Gallagher. Because they were in for Gallagher and they were in for Mikel Merino. But obviously we're going to talk about Mikel Merino in a second, but he is coming to Arsenal. So definitely that is the case. So they need to find midfielders. Saul left and everything, so they need to find replacements. Gallagher is one, but I think they could go for Adrien Rabiot actually. Although their French midfielders haven't worked out that well. Lemar didn't work out too well as well for them. So it's very interesting how that is developing. And then comes Arsenal. And the big part about Arsenal is I don't want him. Let's just get it out of the way. I don't want Rabiot at Arsenal. First things first. Second thing in this instance, Arsenal don't sign players from free agency like Eva. Genuinely, we had a chance to sign certain players on free, which we tried to do, and we still paid money on top to the club as we purchased him. Happened with Marquinhos to Sao Paulo. He would have even gotten him for free, but added 3 million on just to keep good relationships, football friends, and all that stuff. Isn't Cedric Soares the last one we got for free, and that worked out well? And I don't think Rabiot is just that type of quality player for the time where Arsenal is at the moment, that he could actually do something good, that he could add something Arsenal don't have. Genuinely. Maybe depth. That's the only thing. But paying, let's just say, 150 grand a week for a player who is not good enough, I'm not sure it's the right case. We already have quite a bit of players on stupid amount of money who are not good enough and should get sold, and Rabiot would just add fuel to the fire in this instance, especially from the fan base. But this is coming from Gazzetta dello Sport, and as we all know, the Italian media in sports, especially in football, is not always the most reliable, because according to Italian reports, Arsenal are still going in for Osimhen. So take that with some massive grain of salt in this instance. Moving on to Mikel Merino. Here it is, and it might be actually in a chronological order for a change. Fabrizio Romano today in the morning said that let me say that Arsenal are really closing in on a deal for Mikel Merino. The package is going to be something around 30 million euros. That's about 27 million pounds, 27 million pounds. Everything is proceeding to the final stages. We'll understand the structure of the deal in the next days, but the agreement between Arsenal and Real Sociedad is really, really close. And it actually didn't take too long for Fabrizio Romano to tweet out that Mikel Merino is a here we go. Mikel Merino to Arsenal is a here we go. Deal in place between the clubs and package in excess of 30 million with add-ons. So let's just get it straight. Euro to pounds. Euro to pounds. So 30 million euros would be 26 million pounds. I don't know if you can see it or not, by the way. Oh, you can't. So let me just quickly move it so you can see it for a bit here. Here it is. It's 26 million pounds. So I think that's, for a player that actually could do some things at Arsenal, is actually a pretty darn good deal. Although, for me, Mikel Merino, even though his passing ranges and everything is still like unknown, at the same time, Mikel Merino for Arsenal may not be the guy that maybe elevates the ceiling of Arsenal in general, but definitely increases the floor, if you get what I mean. Maybe our starting 11 doesn't get that much stronger, but at the same time, the gap, the fall off, the Grand Canyon between our starting 11 and the bench gets that much smaller. And that is something we definitely need, because obviously most of our players played pretty much every single game bell to bell last season. And why? Because we don't have proper backups in the key positions. Odegaard, Saka, Saliba, Gabriel, they played pretty much every single game. Odegaard was the one who got subbed off the most, ironically enough. Since we don't have backups, they had to play every single game, bell to bell almost, and then there is no wonder that by the 35th game, no, let's just say 30th game, They are out of breath, they have heavy legs, their stamina is in the ground, and their fitness is into the ground. And the times when maybe at that moment you need someone to do some magic and maybe take the risk, take the game at the scruff of its neck, we don't have a player to do it. Mind you, even when everyone's fully fit, I don't believe we have a player who can say this. Give the ball to me, I will create magic, and I will get us over the line. Because the last player for Arsenal who had that was Alexis Sanchez, in my opinion. He had the ability to take the ball, say to everyone, screw off, out of the way, I will take everyone on and I will score it myself. He had the ability, he had the cockiness to do that, and he actually had the ability to deliver on that. None of our players have that, I believe at least, at the moment in our club. But Mikel Merino for 26 million with add-ons is actually a pretty decent deal. Really? You really think Rafinha is Sanchez 2.0? Rafinha can challenge Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus. Now, the thing is, Saka is our golden boy. Genuinely, he is one of those players in our team I call undroppables. Because no matter how they are playing, they never get subbed off. Mind you, we don't have subs to do so, so maybe if we sign a proper winger or a striker, so Jesus maybe can rotate with him, we actually could be able to do that. Because there have been quite a bit of games when Odegaard, Saka, even Martinelli, Kai Havertz, of course, have dropped awful games. Generally, dropped stinkers. And we are looking at our bench, and we have nothing to sub on to maybe try and change the game, or maybe try to take them off, give them a rest, and maybe throw something different at them. The thing is, Rafinha to Arsenal, for me, is a very big trouble issue. Because he would cost about 50 to 60 million. And that is, for me, insane amount of money. I much rather add, let's say, 10 million on top of that and go for Gyökeres at striker. Because for me, signing a striker is more important. If we sign a proper bagsman at number 9, we get some more guaranteed goals. Plus, that means, let's just say, Jesus can actually play as a cover for Bukayo Saka. And since Rafinha has joined actually Barcelona, he hasn't been the greatest. Yes, he has had great spells of games here or there. He has scored, he has assisted, he has carried the team on certain games. But overall, he hasn't hit the ground running. He's struggling in a way, at times there as well. And now with potentially, well, maybe not Nico Williams, but who is that guy? Oh my god. Dani Olmo coming in. Since Dani Olmo can play as a number 10, he can play at wing. There might be an argument to be made that Rafinha actually might be on the way out. And as always, since the time he wanted to leave Leeds and he almost came to Arsenal or Chelsea, but instead he went to Barcelona, the Arsenal have been linked with Rafinha every single transfer window, by the way. Obviously, there is no smoke without fire in that instance. Yeah, exactly. They have Ferran Torres as well. Although Ferran Torres or Rafinha, for me, they are the same type of players. The thing is, how to say this now? Rafinha. Let's talk about Rafinha in this instance, because Ferran Torres flopped at Man City and he went to basically La Liga. But Rafinha had advantage when he was playing in Premier League. He was playing under Marcelo Bielsa. And Marcelo Bielsa in that instance was playing high on press, gun-ho football, rock and roll football, similar like Liverpool used to play in the early days under Jurgen Klopp. And the thing is, that gave Rafinha massive amounts of freedom. They countered the attack with pace. He was allowed massive amounts of freedom. The way Arsenal play, it's very methodical. It's very shoehorn type. Passes through triangles, loft small passes, inky-trinky, tiki-taka type of plays that doesn't maybe allow players to express their best abilities. Because Bukayo Saka, when he just started playing under Mikel Arteta, when he started wing, was taking on defenders, he was taking on, driving, he was doing all that. Now he still does it, but he does to a much lesser extent than he used to. Martinelli as well. Martinelli, the thing that Martinelli needs is an overlapping player on his side. Our left side is shambolic at the moment, but maybe it can change for this summer. But Martinelli on that left side actually needs someone who can overlap, who can open up the spaces. Because Martinelli instantly screwed when he gets the treatment Saka gets, double or triple teamed. As soon as someone overlaps, one or two defenders have to back off, and Martinelli has the ability in space to take someone on one-on-one. And then he can get past pretty much anyone he wants if he's on it. We saw against Sevilla in Champions League group stages when he played. I think that Sevilla right back is still having nightmares about him because it wasn't Jesus Navas. He's still having nightmares about him to this day. So definitely I think that overlap from that left side is something that he needs desperately to open him up. Because there is no coincidence that since we sold Granit Xhaka and we don't have overlapping number 8 on Martinelli's side, his numbers tanked into the ground. Obviously injuries and not consistent playing also played a key role in this. But definitely I think the fact that he didn't have that overlapping number 8 in Granit Xhaka really handcuffed him in his developing of his style and during the season. The thing is also, Havertz, we played at 8, he tried to do that, and we all saw that Havertz actually is not good enough to play an 8, in my opinion. Either you're sticking up at number 9 or he's benched. One of the two. Nothing more, nothing less. One of the two. Because in that box he actually can do things. Mind you, that's why I also strongly believe we need that number 9, and then we can push maybe Gabriel Jesus as a backup for Bukayo Saka, maybe rotate him in that regard, because many times when he hits someone on counter, we see that our number 9 drifts out wide, and usually it's to Martinelli's side, which overcrowds the left side and leaves our middle very open. But at that time specifically, what you need many times is actually a striker who is up there, who is keeping defenders on their toes, and someone you can play the ball into who can maybe hold up the play and pass it off, or hold up the play and then just maybe drop a shoulder, turn around and just slot it at the goalkeeper. One of the two. And that is the big thing that's really we are missing. I think number 9 for us is bigger priority than actually a winger. Because we have players at number 9 at the moment who can play wing. Okay, we exclude Havertz, but we say Gabriel Jesus. Because let's be real, if Jesus would be good with being a squad player, I don't think we would have many issues. Genuinely, I don't think we would have many issues in that. Because Pedro Neto would be the same thing even if we signed him for about 50 to 60 million. He wouldn't be the starter, he would be a squad player. And if you're injury prone, playing about 20 to 25 games, some you start but some you come off the bench, is actually not that big of a thing. So definitely maybe signing a number 9 is the key answer for us to all of this. Oddly enough, Havertz would make the perfect CDM with his physical play and winning duels. I can see this argument, but at the same time, he is something we need in attack. Because he has that ability that pretty much none of our attackers has. Making runs between the lines. He is the only player who does them. And not to mention the fact that about 40% to 40 to 50% of the time, he gets ignored in this. I know, but he could play, but he couldn't. Let's be real. It's not FIFA. But for me, the biggest strength for Havertz, it's not his height or strength or anything. Even though he moves like he's been like a giraffe who's been shot with a tranquilizer dart, his runs in between the lines, between defenders, is one of his biggest strengths. But Arsenal don't utilize that to the maximum extent, because 40 to 50% of the time, when he makes those runs, Odegaard ignores him, Saka ignores him, he just doesn't get recognized for those runs. And that most of the time when he makes the run, he's in on net. No defender sees that run or clocks that he is making that run. Or even if they clock it, they're already too late. Havertz would be in one-on-one if he could take a proper touch and then shoot the ball. That is the big thing. That for me is the big thing. I'm not being serious, just thinking out loud. To be honest, if Havertz would have proper defensive abilities, he could play there, but he doesn't, so it is what it is. To be honest, I still don't have proper idea why we signed him. Because I definitely believe there were some other options. 65 million we spent on the guy. Because last summer, for 65 to 70 million, we could have bought Kudus and Madison. that would be a much better improvement of our squad than signing just one Kai Havertz. That is the big thing as well for me. I'm still pissed off about it, by the way. But anyways, at the end of the day, Mikel Merino is a here we go, and it's gonna happen very, very, very soon. What else is here? What else can we talk about? Arsenal injury news as Mikel Arteta face return dilemma for Bayer Leverkusen. Against Bayer Leverkusen, do you start Calafiori at left back or not? That is question for the chat, by the way. Who is injured still? Who is still injured? So insane training, his own holidays, but yet to rejoin camp. Evidence started in the same despite the latter being knocked out of the semi-finals with France. That is the big question. But now, okay, let's not read this. It's football.london, not the best at times. Tomiyasu, Tomi Kafu, as people say. It's doubtful whether Takehiro Tomiyasu will feature in the remainder of pre-season. Obviously, he got injured. Sorry for that sound. He got injured, and he didn't fly with us to the USA Tour. And of course, the Glassy Yasu is a big thing because he gets injured every single season multiple times. And to be honest, he wasn't the only one. Tierney also didn't go. Tierney is still at the club. And to be honest, for me, we have 6 left backs. That's the big thing now. If you deep it, actually, we have 6 left backs. Calafiori, Timber, Kivior, Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, and Tierney. 6 left backs. For me, the worst of them is Zinchenko. Either you try maybe playing him at number 8 instantly without inverting at left back, or you sell him. Tomiyasu can stay because he can play all across the back line. Same goes for Timber. Calafiori we just signed. And then there is Tierney. And for me, Tierney we should keep. Only if we can guarantee him minutes though. Because for me, Tierney is that type of a defender you need in your team. Yes, he gets injured quite a bit, but if you look actually at injury stats, Zinchenko is more injury prone. Takehiro Tomiyasu is also almost as injury prone as Tierney. So this PR that has been made, this illusion that Tierney is injury prone more than any other Arsenal player is actually not true. Let's just get it out of the way instantly. For me, Tierney is that old school defender who loves to defend, can play left back / left center back if needed. And if he plays left back, he gives us that security at the back and we can invert from the right. Because we saw that last year when we played Kivior on the left. We tried to invert with Kivior from the left. And we just got cooked many times. As soon as Arteta said, okay, Kivior, we're gonna invert now from the right, you're gonna stay back and make that back 3. We inverted with Benjamin White, right? It instantly started to work out as a charm and we were schooling teams 5-0, 6-0 and all that stuff. So Tierney is actually in the same category. Mind you, Tierney loves to overlap, which is something we definitely need on that left side. And Tierney kind of cross the ball properly. I think he's one of the best crossers we have in the team, in all positions combined. So definitely that is the thing. If there was a chance of us selling all the players, I would sell Kivior and I would sell Zinchenko and keep Tierney if we could give him proper game time. Unfortunately though, Arteta doesn't like Tierney because he cannot invert and all that stupid stuff he wants to do all the time. Which means Tierney is gonna go. When he's gonna go remains to be seen. Because Tierney is still at the club. Yes, he's injured. But technically you can pass medicals while you're still injured. So what is the biggest... I don't know why he hasn't been mentioned in the market. I guess there are no takers from him. Genuinely. Same goes for Ramsdale, by the way. Haven't heard a peep about Ramsdale leaving. Except from some random links with loan to Southampton and Nottingham Forest. Ramsdale talks is hella quiet. Arsenal also have lowered his selling price from 50 to 30 million. And there are still no takers. And I generally believe Arsenal are not willing to go lower than 30 million. Which actually means that Ramsdale actually might stay at the club. Or, although he wouldn't want to rot on the bench. Which means he will got to get loaned out by the end of the window. Because window shuts down in 29 days. And there's nothing is happening with Ramsdale. Which is really bothering me at the moment. Because we could get proper money for Ramsdale. And maybe invest in someone else. That is the big thing here as well. Also news from the other camps. David Raya has returned to Arsenal today following his extended break after winning Euro 2024 with Spain this summer. David Raya is back with the squad. The question is, where is Saliba? Does he still have the break? To be honest, in my opinion, Saliba deserves the break because he was the only player, became the only player in Arsenal's history to play every single bloody Premier League game from bell to bell. Plus he played in Champions League and almost every single game bell to bell, which means he definitely deserves a bit more extended break. Mind you, we kick off Premier League in 14 days. We need to call him back at some point. Haven't seen Declan Rice yet in training, although there might be pictures resurfacing, maybe. And Ramsdale also hasn't been seen in training, and that is the worry biggest here. Because Ramsdale should be training if he wants to be in good shape when he gets sold. But it is what it is. And this was a very interesting thing I read today, according to Miguel Delaney from Independent, which really made me think. Obviously, we know that there are links with Saudi teams. Arsenal selling to Saudi, Arsenal buying, potentially from teams that have links with Saudi, like, of course, City and Qataris, the Newcastles. So here it is. There also has been an ongoing tension between the St. James Park hierarchy and Arsenal due to the latter attitude to state-owned clubs. Some executives at Arsenal have been at the forefront of moves within the Premier League to restrict the potential financial power of Abu Dhabi-owned Manchester City and Saudi Arabian-owned Newcastle, which also is very interesting because this actually means that if this is true, if Arsenal are on the forefront to forbid the moves within Premier League to restrict the financial power of both Saudi teams, there's no chance in hell that we will sign Bruno Guimaraes, Alexander Isak, or any City player. To be honest, I don't want any City players at Arsenal. We had two, and it feels like many times they play against us, especially Zinchenko. But hey ho, we move on. So this is the big thing here. Could this be the reason why Arsenal are not doing any business to selling to Saudi as well? Because if Arsenal are against the Saudi influx of money into Premier League and into Premier League-owned clubs by Saudi, that actually could also come with the fact that the reason why Arsenal are not selling to Saudi. Because if they are standing against Saudi, it would look very hypocritical if Arsenal sold to Saudi and got money from there. Which also at the end of the day means Partey is not moving this summer. He's gonna stay for the last year because this is the last year of his contract, see out his contract, and we're gonna lose any type of money we actually could have gotten back from him. We already paid 45 in his release clauses, 4 years in 200 plus grand a week. So we're definitely gonna lose massive amounts of money on him, especially if he leaves for free. And that is the big thing. That might be the case why we won't sign Bruno, Isak, or other players. On top of that, why we won't sell to Saudi. Mind you, there are some rumors that are linked that Arsenal are interested in Dubravka, which is again kind of weird that doesn't go hand in hand with this statement. This generally is a very big talking point and very big thinker here. Arsenal are one of the front runners in the Premier League to restrict the potential financial influx of the power from Abu Dhabi on City and Saudi Arabia on the Newcastle. It's very interesting, this thing. Very. Anyhow, let's talk about Emile Smith Rowe, because Emile Smith Rowe has joined Fulham, full on, it's fully confirmed, and according to Fabrizio Romano, it's worth up to £34 million. 27 million guaranteed, 7 million in realistic add-ons. Could you maybe tell us the realistic add-ons? Because what are the add-ons? Winning the Champions League, winning the Premier League, scoring 50 goals? I don't know. Let us know. Because we deserve to know, in my opinion. On top of that, Arsenal have sell-on clause on him, more than 10%, which is also, to be honest, very nice. If he balls out, he goes to a bigger team, even for 50 million, we get quite a bit of money back as well. In that instance, that's actually very good. The fact that we have sell-on clause on him. Genuinely. However, I want to talk about the hypocritical part of this thing. Arteta, he has said Smith Rowe is 100% part of my plans. You can see the hell of a player that we have in him when he's fit and playing at that level. He just about looking forward. Mikel Arteta himself, and this is a quote by the way, said this about Emile Smith Rowe in April 2024. Basically, last season when we were in massive title race. This was one of his reasons why also we didn't sell him in January. Right? And what happened since then with Emile Smith Rowe? What happened with Emile Smith Rowe since Arteta said that? Anyone take any wild guesses? What happened with Emile Smith Rowe since Arteta said that? Anyone want to take wild guesses in the chat? All seasons? No. Here it is. Wait. Here it is. 23-24 season. He played 13 games overall. Big up, Abdi. Big up. Big up, Abdi. Thanks for dropping by. Thank you. So, what happened? So, overall, he played 4 games, then he got injured, then he played 4 more games, got injured, then he played 2 more games. So, Arteta said this on April the 5th about Emile Smith Rowe. April the 5th is here, right? April, yeah. Before he said this after this Luton game, by the way. He played against Luton. He assisted. He got man of the match, by the way, against Luton. And since then, he was on the bench. He had 8 games to play. 6 of them he sat on the bench, got 11 minutes against Villa when we lost 2-0, and got 21 minutes against Everton when we won 2-1. This is the reason why Emile Smith Rowe came out, well, not came out, pause, but he said, I want proper minutes, guaranteed first team minutes, or I want out. Because Arteta in January said that he has a massive role to play in this title race. He said that in January, in transfer window, when we had offers for him, why we didn't sell him. So here it is. Let's start this. January. Just look at January games, nothing else. 21 minutes in a 5-0 win against Palace, almost 71 minutes against Nottingham Forest. Then he got benched against Liverpool. He had a bruise on an ankle, played 6 minutes against Burnley, 14 minutes against Newcastle, bench, 85 minutes at Luton, got man of the match in this game, bench, 11 minutes, bench, 21 minutes. And does this now actually come together with what Mikel Arteta said? And this is not the first time he has said something and it hasn't happened. It's not the first time you can say that arguably he has lied about this. Lied about something. Not the first time. Genuinely, it's not the first time. I'd like a clear backstory to come out to explain why he... Exactly. Because from what I see is the fact that either Mikel Arteta doesn't like him, or basically Arsenal have evolved so much that he just doesn't fit the way he wants to play. That's the other thing for me. Because Emile Smith Rowe is a player who can play technically. He can play solidly in number 8. He can play solidly in number 10 and solidly at left wing. But he doesn't excel in any of those positions like a top player. He did that 3 seasons ago when he single-handedly with Bukayo Saka saved Arteta's job, by the way. During that season, Emile Smith Rowe scored 10 goals. He did that 1 season, and since then, he got slowly destroyed by Mikel Arteta, by the way. That was how he repaid him. Because as you can see, this is the season when single-handedly together with Bukayo Saka, he saved his job. 10 goals, 2 assists in 33 games. Since then, in 2 seasons, he's played 25 games, has 4 assists, and overall has played 508 minutes. Overall. And yes, he was injured here quite a bit, but then again, when he's back, he plays random cameos, 8 minutes, 7, 5, 19, 13, 15, or he just sits on the bench. So it's not either Mikel Arteta just doesn't like him, or he just doesn't fit the system. One of the two things. I generally don't see any other way in this. Do Saka and ESR have the same agent? Oy, hatui. I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie. We can check actually. I don't think, no. I think Saka has the same agent as Edu Nketiah though. Emile Smith Rowe. By Emile Smith Rowe is represented. Here it is. Emile Smith Rowe. Let's see. Emile Smith Rowe. Represented by Jordan something rather. Right? It's Emile Smith Rowe. Bukayo by Jordan W. Mad. Okay. And Bukayo Saka is represented by Endorso Talent Agency. Genuinely different one. But let's just Chidobe Martin has joined the same agency as Bukayo Saka, and there's Edu Nketiah as well. So they don't have the same agent. They do not have the same agent. They have two completely different agents. I like ESR, but it's the best he moved. Obviously, he's not getting minutes. Hell of a player. Arteta owes his job to ESR exactly. Or we would have been... Yeah, to be honest, yeah, genuinely. If Saka and Emile Smith Rowe didn't have that 21-22 season, where they just single-handedly carried the team when we finished 5th, genuinely, Arteta would be sacked. And that's it. He single-handedly with Bukayo saved his job. Nothing more, nothing less. Emile Smith Rowe, Saka and Xhaka played big parts. Exactly. 3 players that played some of the biggest roles. 2 of them are gone already. And now, the biggest thing is, what's going to happen with Bukayo Saka? Because for me, the biggest worry now is, we have this massive team, allegedly. A winning team, allegedly, who has won fuck all, by the way. Excuse my French. Arteta has spent 700 million, and he's gonna spend more. He hasn't won nothing. How long do you think Bukayo Saka, and let's add to this, Odegaard, Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White, will be at Arsenal if we don't win anything? How long? Because it won't take long, generally 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 seasons, until they stand there and think, hold on a second, we won nothing. I'm one of the biggest players in Premier League, one of the biggest players at Arsenal, and I need to cement my legacy here. I don't want to be another Harry Kane who scores loads of goals, has amazing performances, but has empty trophy cabinet. Although Bukayo Saka already has more than that, but we move on that instance overall. So they will sooner or later ask for a move away. They will sooner or later ask for a move away. And that is the big thing. Not to mention, Real Madrid already are sniffing, no Diddy, around Saliba. They need center backs. They already need center backs. And they're looking at them. It won't take long till Real Madrid will try and come in with, let's just say, 120 million for Saliba. It won't take long. Genuinely. It won't take long if we don't start winning. Right this instance, right this season, right now. Because I don't know how you are, Arteta in or Arteta out, but I am Arteta out. 4 years with no trophies, 700 million spent. He has built his own squad. The only time he has won something is with a squad that he inherited from Emery and Wenger, played completely different style, and that's it. As soon as he started to play like Pep, started to build his own team, everything has gone. We have been multiple Carabao Cups, FA Cups, Premier Leagues, I might as well say Champions Leagues. Arteta has won in these 4.5 years. One out of 18 possible trophies obtainable for him in his tenure. That just says a lot, doesn't it? Because this season, it's do or, well, I don't want to say die, but it's do or die for them. Because if he doesn't win anything, he has to go. He generally has to go. He has to, because this is unacceptable. Imagine 5.5 years of winning nothing. 5 years of winning nothing. Which club would tolerate that? Which top club would tolerate that? We are one of the biggest clubs in England, one of the biggest clubs in the world, yet no other team tolerates that. PSG, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona. They change managers like socks if you don't win two seasons in a row. They need to show instantly that you can do it. Arsenal just, oh, let's cuddle him, give him more time, but he didn't get that player, but we didn't sign a striker, and at the end of the day, this is still. He looked sad in his intro video of Fulham. Yeah, Emile Smith Rowe, definitely. He's a baller. I wish he could have balled out at Arsenal, but it just doesn't look like it's gonna happen. I hope he balls out against Fulham. Definitely gonna watch Fulham games, of course. Support him in 36 out of 38 games possible in Premier League, except against Arsenal, of course. But overall, yeah. I generally hope that he stays injury-free and balls out in Fulham. Generally, I wish him all the best, all the best possible things. Merino deal, according to Fabrizio Romano, where is it? Is a here we go. Here we go. Deal in the place between clubs in package in excess of 30 million with add-ons. Merino agreed long-term deal, and he also spoke to Arteta ahead of move. Real Sociedad accepted the proposal, and he's now set to sign. So pretty much Merino is done and dusted very, very soon by the looks of things. Wait, that's the wrong one. Oh my god. Oh my god, I've made myself an idiot. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. This will look good on TikTok. Oh, for fuck's sake. I hate this. I hate Twitter. I hate Twitter. Genuinely hate Twitter. Massively hate Twitter. Anyways, anything new here? Where is... I wish we could have signed this guy, by the way. I wish we could have signed this guy. I honestly believe, I feel Saliba and Gabriel are the closest ones to leaving. Should we win nothing as well as trophy? Yeah, generally, Saliba, Gabriel, they won't stand for this. They will leave sooner or later. Genuinely. I can express my opinion, and I will do that. That's it. And yeah, I look like an idiot. Happy days. Good for you. All the whining for you paid off for me. I was whining, you can now mug me off. Anyways, that will look good on TikTok. I looked like an idiot. That will look good on TikTok now, genuinely. I wish we could have signed Dovbyk. I genuinely wish we could have signed Dovbyk for striker. Especially since he goes there for 30 million. 30 bloody million. Top scorer of La Liga last season. 33 million release clauses. Could have been a good striker for us, genuinely. Good first touch. Can bang goals from both feet, can good in the air, can hold up the play. Genuinely believe he actually could do good at Arsenal. Now, is there actually anything Fabrizio has said about Arsenal in general? Proper one. No, there isn't. For fuck's sake. Get out of that mentality, just ride the wave. We have what we have, just go with it. Complain when we play shit. I'm not complaining, I'm just demanding more. That's about it. Generally, it's not a mentality to complain or whine. I just want for our club to do more. Because pretty much we have almost everything in place to win a title. We just need to sign a number 9, a backup for Saka and another midfielder. Arguably we need 2 more signings, not even 3. We just need to sign a proper number 9. We still haven't replaced Aubameyang. And every single year it is. First year we finished second. Always spread the goals around. We don't need a striker. Then last season, but we don't have a proper number 9. That's why we cannot put many chances away. Then go and get one. Yet at the same time we don't sign one. That's what is pissing me off in these instances. When everyone sees what we need, yet it doesn't get done, and then everyone complains that we don't have that. And then it gets used as an excuse to justify the fact that we don't win. That is the big thing. We just have to go with what's at the club. It sucks, but what can we do? Yeah, that's the thing, but what can we do? I can just talk about it here. And that's what I do, and that's about it. Genuinely, that's about it. I just sit here and talk about it, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Yes, some people may disagree. Yes, some people may not agree. At the same time, some people may agree with that. And it's all over the place. That's the thing. I enjoy having different opinions. But at the same time, need to respect my opinions. And it's not whining, it's not complaining or anything. Genuinely. Anything here? Emile Smith Rowe, Emile Smith Rowe, Emile Smith Rowe, Emile Smith Rowe. Come on, man. Bukayo Saka. Still resting, so he still hasn't joined the team. I would assume he will join together with Saliba in about 4 or 5 days, maybe something like that. Because Raya is there, Saliba, Rice, and Saka I think still haven't joined, correct? I'm not losing it. Haven't seen them still in training. Here, Granit Xhaka and Emile Smith Rowe before Tottenham 21-22 as season on all 4-0 Arsenal. You're the future, man. You are the future. I felt it from the first day. You are the future here. Imagine number 10 and to be the captain in the future. Ironically enough, his last game at Arsenal, he was wearing the number 10 and he was the captain in that Leyton Orient game. Ironically enough. Who would have thought? Yeah, Ramsdale isn't there as well. Yeah, that's the 4th one. Although Ramsdale, the thing is, we haven't seen him in training. We haven't seen him actually anywhere. Because he's not in the training. And we haven't seen him in transfer news. That is the big thing. What's going to happen with him? Because we haven't seen any talks about him getting sold. We haven't seen any talks about any bids or links. It's very confusing what's happening with Ramsdale. It's like he's gone AWOL pretty much. It's very, very weird. Generally, it's very, very weird. Yeah. Ramsdale, it is suspicious. That's the big thing. Either he's getting sold silently and it will come out of nowhere, or it's hella suspicious because Ramsdale won't want to sit another season on the bench and do nothing. That is the big part here. And there are no teams that need him. Also, he's on 120 grand a week. Okay, cool. Arsenal have lowered the asking price from 50 million to 30 million, and there's still no takers. There are talks about getting him on loan. There were some random links with him to maybe Southampton or Nottingham Forest. There were some links in the beginning of the window with Newcastle. They wanted to pay 15 million for him, which is a laughable amount. And that's it. Exactly, I don't mind Ramsdale as second choice. He's stuck like Ederson. Pretty much, at the moment, he's pretty much held captive against his own will in a way. But let's be real, the fact that he came out complaining, his dad came out complaining, and then he said himself that he cannot focus for the full 90 minutes, really didn't help his case as an Arsenal player, and as a player in the future to be sold. Let's be real. Because which club wants to hear that from one of their potential main guys when he comes out and says, well, I cannot focus for the full 90, and I'm in the goal, and as soon as the shot comes, I don't know what's gonna happen. That definitely didn't help his case. Definitely didn't help his case. That's on his own fault. Here are some stats I wanted to talk about. Random stats I just wanted... yeah, that killed him. Even Wrighty was like, are you serious? Exactly, that's the thing. You could see in Wrighty's eyes, it was like, well, you're done. Goodbye. Genuinely, you're done. Don't even. You're done here. But yeah, some stats, random stats. Basically comparing Mikel Merino. Who else is there? Declan Rice and, well, Jorge Luis Frello Filho. If you have no idea who that is Jorginho, by the way. Just saying. In this instance, you have to put his full name to find him out. So, what we're gonna compare is the stats starting from shots on target. And the mad part is, I didn't even clock this, Jorginho didn't take a shot on target last season in Premier League. How wild is that? He didn't have a shot on target last season. Mad. Just clock it. So, Merino had 20 goals. So Merino had 5 goals, 3 assists in La Liga last season. Declan Rice has 7 plus 8. So overall, if that was the case, combined, even if it was the same thing, we would get 12 goals and 11 assists. Combined from the midfield, that wouldn't be the worst, but definitely would expect more, genuinely. The biggest issue is passing accuracy from Declan Rice is 91% almost, which is good. Jorginho is 90%, which is good. Passing from Merino is 77%. Obviously, the way Arsenal play, they pass a lot, very close passes in between players that are not under pressure. I would assume that percentage will go up. I would assume so. The thing is, exactly, but you cannot compare any one of those. That is the thing. Arsenal don't have a player you can properly compare him to. We don't have a number 8. If there was Granit Xhaka, then maybe we could talk. But we are just talking in general. That's the thing. We can add Zubimendi in this as well to talk about this. Maybe that would work better. But Arsenal are not getting Zubimendi. That is the big thing. Long passing is a big thing as well. Exactly. That is the big thing. If you look at Sociedad, their midfield mostly consists of Zubimendi, Mikel Merino, and that Mendes guy. You could argue that Zubimendi is the main guy. He's the best. And then Merino and Mendes one of the two. And the thing is, they all have bad passing because the thing is, Real Sociedad don't hold too much possession. There are not that many games where they are dominant on the ball. Genuinely, you can look at them most of the time. Other team they're playing against holds the possession much more. And that is the big case. And many teams just play high press and everything, and it's very, very hard to judge these things. The big part is he actually is a good player in the midfield for Arsenal's sake, that he would fit the system. I generally believe he would be good enough to fit Arsenal's system due to the way we like to play. Those stats definitely will go up. And I think at Arsenal, even though he's not raising the roof for Arsenal, he's definitely raising only the floor for Arsenal and decreasing the gap from starting 11 and the bench, so the drop-off isn't as massive. He will improve our team on some extent, no matter what, because we don't have a proper number 8. The issue with this is, if we sign Merino, who is playing the 6? Partey, who looks very washed at the moment, in general for the last year. Declan Rice, we saw how Declan Rice looked at 6 in the beginning of the last season. Although he had Kai Havertz next to him. So we cannot judge him by that because he's in a proper number 8. So maybe with Merino next to him, if he starts, it looks actually better. We don't know that just yet because we haven't seen it as soon as he joins. Exactly. They love to compete. They're very combative. Exactly. That's the thing. They love dueling, and that's the thing. Merino also likes taking a big first touch, and with that first touch actually beat the opponent instantly. Obviously Spanish players have very good tech on the ball, so he loves that. So he tends to take a risk. I'm not sure how Mikel Arteta will look at that, by the way, but because he likes to playing it safe many times. But that is a good thing. But obviously with great risk comes great reward. At the same time comes great punishment, and that is the stats going down. Because they try to play risky passes, hit them on counters, under massive pressures, play out the balls, which are maybe in an instance very rushed, and that is the case. And in Arsenal, it's a whole different story. Maybe there are 3-4 teams that will do that to Arsenal, to make them play the rushed pass, make them try to lose possession, dispossess them. Most of the teams just go, Arsenal, okay, we know, park the bus. And that's it. And that is still our biggest thing. We need to learn how to break the low block. That's also a thing. And this is the reason why I'm still advocating for us to buy a flippant striker. Because that could be the key, and that's it. That's what we need. But it is what it is at the end of the day. Now, let's see what's going on in other instances of transfers for Arsenal. By the way, this stat, yeah? Mikel Arteta, okay, has spent 240 million on 11 defenders. 240 million on 11 defenders. Overall, it comes out to 22 million on a defender, which is not bad in general. But 240 million, with 42 million signing Riccardo Calafiori the latest. That's Arteta overall has spent around 700 million. So he has spent 33% of the budget on defenders only. Then he has spent around 100 million on goalkeepers alone. Then he has spent about 200 to 300 million on midfielders, and he hasn't signed attackers in general. We signed Jesus, he signed Trossard, he signed Marquinhos, and that's it. If you think about it, that's actually it. Jesus 45, Marquinhos 3, so that's 48, even though we should have gotten him for free, and Trossard was 25 to 30 million, something like that. So basically he has spent about 110 million on signing attackers, and he hasn't actually signed a proper striker. How insane is that? Genuinely, how insane is that actually? Madness. Genuine madness. 240 million on 11 defenders, plus about 110 to 120 on goalkeepers. Wow. Genuinely wow. Is it 120 on goalkeepers? 30 for Ramsdale, 30 for Raya, that's 60. 2 there, loans. Yeah, about 100 million on goalkeepers as well. Mad. Genuinely mad. Wow. Wow. I'm kind of confused and confuzzled about that. Anyways. Now, Declan Rice tipped to benefit from Mikel Merino's 25 million move. Yes, he definitely would. Actually, double pivot of Declan Rice and Merino. That works, right? With Odegaard in 10, Merino pushes up left 8, we invert from the left with Calafiori or Timber. That actually works pretty nicely. If you think, potentially, not actually, that's in theory, it should work nicely. How it will work in game, it all remains to be seen. Genuinely. From Brazil, Bombshell is Nottingham Forest want to take Edu from Arsenal as CEO. What the hell is this? What? 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 From Brazil, Edu Gaspar is widely considered to have done a good job at Arsenal since he returned to club to help transfers and player relations. He'd previously been helping player relations and solving problems for Brazil's national team. Yeah, we all know that. Mikel Arteta has repeatedly credited Edu for part of his own success with the Gunners, and an Arsenal exit would be a surprise. However, there are now a report from UOL, no idea who that is, in Brazil, that Nottingham Forest owner Marinakis wants to make him as a sort of CEO to work as high right man across his football interests. That would be Nottingham Forest, Olympiacos and Rio Ave. He has some very interesting club combination happening here. There's no indication of what Edu's thoughts are on this, but information comes from Brazil, so that might hint where it... Yeah, obviously. Arsenal is obviously the most attractive club in the mix here, and the question may be whether the sort of CEO role could be tempting. What the hell am I reading today? What is this? Edu wanted by Nottingham Forest. Oh, bloody hell. Why did I even read this? Arsenal are speaking to agent on unwanted Juventus star. Apparently Arsenal are speaking to Rabiot. Oy Dios mío, this is not looking good. Anything else? Calafiori's confession, Justin Bieber, of course. Arsenal accelerating a transfer. In transfer of 38 goal... Wait, what? We actually are accelerating into something. Doesn't sound like Arsenal. Oh. 38 goal forward. In his career. What the hell am I... What? The striker began to break into senior setup in 17-18 season and to date has scored 38 goals in 168 appearances for the club across all competitions. He has scored that much. What the hell is this? Anyways, we don't care about that. So nothing. Arsenal Eye Premier League 50 million star amid exit. That should be Pedro Neto, right? That should be Pedro Neto in this instance. But he's the... Zhao? Wait. Ooh! Arsenal's transfer seems to have... According to Football Transfers, the North London club is showing keen interest in Brazilian forward as they prepare to bid farewell to the... Gunners search for fresh talent. That's Pedro. That João Pedro. Arsenal are showing interest in Brighton forward João Pedro, highlighting the strategic moves by Arsenal's management to strengthen their squad. That's actually hella interesting. Okay, that's a very big goose chase in this instance. Let's just get it out of the way instantly. A random report, but João Pedro to Arsenal. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. So last season in 31 games he scored 9 goals and got 3 assists. Not great, although he hasn't been injured at all. Obviously the thing is he plays for Brighton, so they don't win a lot. Last season especially they had a very weird season, very poor season, let's just say that. He had hamstring injury for 9 games. Season before that he missed 14 games. And then he got 3 years that before that he missed 4 games. So overall he's not that injury prone. Huh. João Pedro. Huh. Would you take him at Arsenal for 50 million or Pedro Neto is bare? Let me know that down in chat or comments below. But it looks like that is it on Arsenal's front for today. We're definitely gonna look at other things for tomorrow. Today I'm gonna sign off. You have been fantastic. Hope everyone's had a great Friday. Hope everyone's feeling fan-freaking-tastic. Take care. Stay safe. Have a nice evening. Not sure if tomorrow I will have a stream. I might do a video because I'm out of the house for tomorrow. So that will be maybe that stream. But yeah, for today, that is it for me. Take care. Stay safe. Like, comment, subscribe. Do all that good stuff. Share it. Take care and